Hello and welcome back to the Mama and a Manse podcast. I am Christy and I'm the host today. I live in Nebraska with my 5 kids and husband who's a pastor. And in the Presbyterian Church, a clergy-owned or a church-owned home for clergy is called a manse, so that's where my name comes from. I am trying to do this outside as school's out now for the big kids. It's nap time for the little ones, so we will see if this works out. There are some people mowing further away. Hopefully that isn't coming through. I didn't hear it when I did a little test, but we will see. And maybe I will just have to record it over again like at night or something. I'm also trying to time this so that my neighbor doesn't come home in the middle of it, because we sat here to try to take my Mother's Day pictures the other day, and we had one good one besides the one that I actually posted, and my neighbor was coming off her porch at exactly when the picture was taken, and so she was like, looked like this little angel on my shoulder in between me and some of the kids. So that one didn't come out very good, but anyways, it is very nice. It's not really spring. We kind of went from winter to summer within a week period. But it's kind of mild today. It was supposed to storm. It might still later, but for right now it's not. So I'm going to try this out, see how it goes. Yeah. If you are coming back, thank you for joining me again and being a friend. And if you are new, I hope that you find something that you enjoy. I apologize if I cough or sound funny during this podcast. I think last time I said that we were having really bad problems with our allergies, and a couple days later it turned into sinus infection and chest congestion and all that. So it's been kind of a ugh. And because of that, I don't have a ton of stuff to show. I do have one finished object, which I forgot inside, so I'll be right back. Okay, so my finished object this week are the April Knitting Expat Sock Club. So that would have been the Cozy Collection, and they were called the Nestled Socks. I have not blocked them, I just put them on the blockers to show to you. This yarn is Wisteria Lane by Lofty Loops in her MCN base, and I really loved it. It was so soft. It did, when I was doing it in the van, it did kind of make my hands feel hotter than other yarns, but I absolutely loved the softness and the colors. I really like all the green speckles and stuff. I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of problems doing the stitch as Mina demonstrated, because she flicks and I'm continental knitter, and so it took me until probably like the 3rd time down to figure out how to do it myself continental, because I tried to do it switching the stitches and I kept dropping them and that did not work. Also, she had at the beginning of the pattern, after the rib, doing a little garter ridge, which at first I was like, well, that's what she did with her socks, so I'm going to do it. And I didn't like it at first, but now that the socks are done and actually alright, I apologize for the choppiness. I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode before I started recording, so I got a phone call and a voicemail and it completely stopped the video. And also there's like a kid coming, riding their bike by, so now I feel really embarrassed that I'm sitting out here talking to myself like a weirdo. Hopefully you didn't hear that. Okay, so I think what I was saying was that even after going down a little bit, I did like the garter ridge. I don't know why. It just kind of adds a little element to it. I'm not really sure, but I do really like these. I have not worn them because I wanted them to stay nice for the podcast, but they are all finished. This is the first one that I didn't get done in the month I don't really know why. I did have more problems with this. I really loved the yarn, and so I wanted to knit them, and then I had problems with the stitch for a while, but once I figured that out, they went pretty quickly. I did a lot of it on the trip to Dubuque, especially the drives is when I got a ton of it done. So that is my only finished object, and I just threw it on the floor. I thought I could put it on this chain. As I mentioned, I've kind of been not feeling very well, so I haven't worked on very much. I haven't worked on very many things. I think I actually have made quite a bit of progress on some things, but just not as much variety. I've been going for the much easier things more so. So my next finished object, which is in my Creative Garage flamingo bag, is my weekender. And I have not woven in any ends, and they are like crazy all over the place. So I have, let's see here. I have finished the front, so I don't even know how to show this really. But I finished the front, so the neck part is bound off, and then the shoulders are on waist yarn, and then I'm on the back doing some short rows, which is why I'm in the middle right here, for the shoulder shaping, and then so I'm not very far from being done with the back to this point as well. Maybe like 20-ish rows. And this is, of course, going to be the inside part. I hear that kid's squeaky bike again. So this will be the inside, and I was kind of unsure about having a reverse stockinette being the outside, but I am really loving how this yarn looks in it. So I'm excited to get that done. Obviously it's kind of summery here, but in the morning, even if it's hot outside, and especially because we did decide that we needed to turn on the air conditioning. Sorry, I gotta grab my yarn ball. We decided we had to turn on our air conditioning partially because of all the allergies, but because there was not any airflow going on and we had no fan upstairs. It was just kind of a, I normally don't turn it on until like July, but it's chilly in the morning. I just want something cozy, so that may be something that I wear a lot in the morning and then, you know, change out of, or on a rainy day or something. But oh, and I forgot to mention that's Barocco. I think I told you last time, so I can't remember what it was actually called. It was Barocco something, and it was a discontinued yarn, which it feels sort of soft and squishy and sort of pokey. Like sometimes, like I was wearing a dress on Sunday and like knitting it, and it was like poking me through my dress in my belly. But like today I was knitting on it, is on my bare legs, and it's not itchy. So I don't know, it was weird. The other thing that I've knitted the most on is also in my Creative Garage bag with the unicorns. They are the Vagary socks, which are the May Knitting Expat pattern, and these are from her Warm and Snug collection. Is that right? Warm and Snug? No, the Wanderlust. Warm and Snug was one of the patterns. Anyways, so I shared these on Instagram last night, but here is where I am, and I put in the heels. They're Fish Lips Kiss heels. They look really weird right now. I'm trying to see if it's like blowing this yarn out. This yarn is the Fruit Loops colorway from Chili Knits, and the pink, I can't remember actually what the color of that was, whether it was called Bubblegum or not, but this Fruit Loops is to die for. This is the pattern. It is a really, the Wanderlust collection is the easier of the two patterns. I've really enjoyed this one. It's really quick. It's a 12-row repeat, but 6 lines of it are rest rows. And so I think that I've really enjoyed that, to just be able to zip through it. And I've made a lot of progress. I cast these on Mother's Day, and it was like 9 o'clock on Mother's Day. And I was not even all the way through the toe. Or no, that's not correct. I stayed up really late and did like 2 repeats because I was just enjoying it so much. This yarn is extremely soft. It's an 80/20. I need to get my ball bands because I think I left them by the ball winder. But this neon goodness is just, I love it. I'm loving these socks. Something that's different on these, I did, because the Wisteria Lane socks weren't really able to go as high as I wanted them to go because they were cuffed down and they would only go so far up my legs. I did decide to go ahead, and truthfully the cabling on them kind of pulled in a little bit. It's barely even a cable, but they were snugger. I don't know if I don't know if I could be swelling or what, but I'm gonna blame my knitting and not my body. But I did go up to a 60 stitch for these, and I normally have been doing 56, and they seem like they are fitting really fantastic. I did the rounded toe that I've been doing, and I am really enjoying those. And hopefully those will be done next time. I want to wear them all the time. I don't care if it's summer. Sorry for the train sounds. So the last thing that I did do was, just in the last few days when I've kind of started to be able to breathe a little bit better, was cast on the other half of my fading point shawl. So I'm partway through this lace in the first color. I didn't get terribly far, but the lace in the first section, the first color, is different than later on. It's bigger. I think that's really the only difference. I don't know who that was. Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe it was somebody I do know. She had on a hat. I couldn't tell. Yeah. I feel so awkward. This is in my Miss Babs yarn, and this pattern, Fading Point, is by Joji Locatelli. If you are living under a rock or don't watch any other podcasts, Ashley, I'm looking at you. This particular color, I can't remember. I think it's called Iolite. But I did get the Mountain Twilight set, so this is on the go. I did try to work on my Morning Mist, and it just, a couple of lines of it is hurting my arm. It's not even really my wrist from the surgery. It's like, I think it probably is from the surgery, like the tendons are pulling, but like down through my arm, it's hurting. So I haven't really worked on that, and that's bugging me because I kind of started going through my closet looking for stuff to wear this week because it's been 85 every day, and I don't have any short sleeve summer stuff. So all those shirts that I bought, or all the yarn that I bought to make summer stuff, I was wanting to, you know, have now, and I can't hardly knit on it because the unstretchiness of the cotton yarn just makes it hurt more. But as soon as I finish my weekender, I'm really excited to knit all the sweaters, which is totally backwards. It should be the other way around. But I'm gonna try to get myself to make sure I cast bind off at least 2 other things before I cast on anything new. I'm thinking probably my Drop 'em Like It's Hot and my Morning Mist, both of those are cotton. So the Drop 'em Like It's Hot though is an open shawl, it's not a tight shirt gauge. So my fading point lives in my Mrs. Brown's Bags tote. I forgot to say that. And then I just have a couple of stash acquisitions. One is from Hypnotic Yarn, from the Hypno Loops sweater along that she did with Lofty Loops. So she just sent a cute little Rapture sample and yarn. Her website is Hypnotic Yarns. And the colorway, they just called it the Hypno Loops Prize. And it is sock yarn. Where's the... And it's 80/20. So it's purples and kind of a mint green. And a little bit of peachy. It's really pretty. It's super soft. There's her little sheepy label. And the other thing that came this week was Lemonade Shop, which I ordered last month while we were on vacation, and they are probably the first the first indie dyed yarn that I really saw when I got on Instagram, and I have a plan for one of these yarns because it was the first one I saw and I fell in love with it. So I'm making, like, even the socks that I saw, it was like a year ago. But I got Lemonade Shop in the kitchen sink, Lisa Frank Fan Club, and Laguna. Actually, I'm going to take these out of here because I'm not really sure how well you're seeing it. The kitchen sink is the one that I saw in the speckled space socks when I first got onto Instagram, and I just absolutely loved them. And so that's actually what I'm going to make with this. The Lisa Frank Fan Club is lots more of the neons. And the Laguna is all my favorites. And I just love this. And I actually like this more even in person than when I was looking at it on the website and was like, I really, really want that one. So that's all my stash acquisitions. The Knit Girls came out with their Stash Dash video today, and so I watched that, which nothing in it really has changed from last year for me. I think that last year I did the 5,000K. I'm pretty sure. You pick a finish line of how long that you're going to knit, or how much yarn you're going to knit or weave or crochet or spin, anything like that. I of course knit. I think last year I did 5,000. I got really, like, barely over, like 15 yards over, 15 meters over. But Violet also was a more needy baby, and she wasn't too bad at the very beginning, but my birth experience was rougher than any of the other ones, so my recovery was a little bit, like, I don't know, not as quick and not as, like, poof, it's the next day, I'm fine. That's maybe an exaggeration, but I've had very good birth experiences that, you know, I'm back to normal very quickly. Hers was a little bit, she was born sunny side up, so that kind of messed with things a little bit more. And I didn't get as much knitting time last summer as I would have liked. All that to say, I think this year that I'm going to try to go for the 10K. I have a lot of things that need to be finished. Some of them even from last year that will give me a lot of meterage pretty quickly. Mostly it is a contest against yourself. It's a competition with yourself, setting a goal of this is how much yarn I want to knit or do whatever with this summer. And so I think I'm going to try to go for 10. I may have went for 75, but I think it was 5 last year. I have quite a bit of stuff that's really close, that's been just languishing around. I have quite a bit of stuff that, you know, like my fading point, it's not going to be done before then, and it's not even been languishing. So I don't feel like I'm like totally cheating and like keeping just the bind offer or something. But I know I have a blanket that needs very, very little done on it for Violet. So that will be something right off the bat. And I do have my, what was that called? The feather one? It's not Birds of a Feather. That's the popular one now. I can't even remember what it is. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. We had our big church meeting this week. Yesterday, actually, it was the day after the kids got out of school, so we got babysitters for them instead of making them go and sit in a church basement while we were in a meeting. Kids are now 1st grade, 3rd grade, and 5th grade. Violet's birthday is next week. I don't even know what today is, the 18th. Her birthday is the 22nd, so Tuesday is her birthday already, and I can't even believe that she's that old. It just, I don't know where this year went. It was a long one, but it also flew by. So yeah, I don't really know what else to jabber about. I finally got caught up on all my podcasts from being on vacation. That took a lot. I watched them on like 1.25 speed just to try to catch up. But I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to go and spare you that.